This is the most comfortable sleeping pad on the market, and today I'm going to share with you all of the gear that I think you need in order to put together the most comfortable backpacking kit ever. All the way from that comfy pad to the best tent to little quality of life items like pumps and slippers. My priorities for the gear is I want it to be comfortable at camp and on trail. So you have items that are going to help you get a good night's sleep, but that don't weigh enough that they're going to be breaking your back once you're hiking. As much as possible, I also wanted the gear to be comfortable on your wallet, so there's a lot of budget-friendly options worked into the gear list. We're going to start off with the big 4 items. For my pack, I'm using the REI Flash 55. This should be no surprise to you guys because this has a lot going for it. The standout features are that it's relatively lightweight, it has an adjustable torso, carries weight really well comfortably, up to 45 pounds, and you barely even feel it, and then has awesome side water bottle pockets that you can easily reach back, grab your water, and then put it back once you're done. When I know I'm going to be carrying a little bit more weight and I want to carry that weight comfortably, which is usually the case when I'm going on more comfort-focused trips, this is the pack that I reach for. The Z-Pack's Arcall is a good alternative to the Flash 55. It's quite a bit lighter, but quite a bit more expensive. My comfort tent of choice is the Durston X-Dome 2. This tent stands out by being easy to set up. It goes up with an all-in-one pitch, which is amazing. It uses good materials with carbon fiber poles and then a sill poly fly, and is storm-worthy enough for its size. You're not going to be taking this tent out in crazy storms, but if you guy it out completely and use 2 trekking poles to support the brow pole, then you can get it out in about 50 km/h winds. It's also just roomy enough. I wish it was a little bit wider, but you can fit 2 25-inch wide pads in there easily and still have a little bit of space in the corners for gear. So alternatives to this tent are the Durston X-Dome 1 Plus, which is a smaller one-person version of this tent. It's quite a bit more storm-worthy due to its smaller size, but still plenty roomy for one person. And then if you want something more lightweight, the X-Mid Pro 2 Plus is a great Dyneema ultralight tent, but as with all more ultralight geared products, you're getting up in price. Now let's talk about that most comfortable sleeping pad on the market, because the sleeping pad is really the keystone of an ultra comfort system. And I've used dozens and dozens and dozens of sleeping pads, and the most comfortable one right now is the Thermarest NeoLoft. The standout features with this pad include the fact that it's quite wide. It's wider than most traditional wide pads at 26 inches. It's warm enough for 3-season conditions with an R value of 4.6. It's really thick at 4.6 inches thick, and then has this stretchy material that really gives a lot, which helps with pressure relief and keeping you comfortable while you're on the pad. It's not a light pad, so the trips that I'm using it on are trips where it's low mileage, high comfort, and I don't mind carrying a little bit of extra weight in order to be super comfortable at camp. Well, for me, the REI Helix is as comfortable as the NeoLoft. I think for most people out there, they're going to find the NeoLoft to be quite a bit more comfortable a pad, especially people who weigh over 200 pounds due to the thickness of the NeoLoft. Another alternative in addition to the Helix that's more budget friendly is the Nature Hike 8.8. The 8.8 R value is a little bit misleading. I would not use it below freezing temperatures, but it is a very comfortable pad and super thick. The top comfort pillow is the X-Bed Mega Pillow. The standout features with it is that it's really big, it's nice and wide and super tall, which is great for side sleepers. It also comes with 2 loops on either side, so you can attach a pad strap in order to lock it on your sleeping pad. It also has a little bit of insulation on top and then a nice soft material in order to lay your head on. For top insulation, it's a bit interesting because I initially had the Zenbivy slotted in as the top insulation for this gear list, but then I went on a trip recently with the Rock Front system and changed my mind. The reason for that are the standout features with the Rock Front. First of all, it's very similar to the Zenbivy in that you have a sheet that attaches to your sleeping pad and then a top quilt that attaches to that sheet. Where it differs from the Zenbivy is that there's a zipper that goes all the way around the sheet and attaches the quilt directly to the sheet. The footbox of the Zenbivy is more like a traditional quilt or sleeping bag, and I found that with the Rock Front system, with the zipper going all the way around, I was able to toss and turn a little bit more freely underneath the Rock Front compared to the Zenbivy. The Rock Front also does an equally good job at preventing drafts, and then also comes with this pillow sleeve at the head end, so if you are using a pillow without a pad strap, you're going to be able to keep it locked in place. The Zenbivy does have some temperature ratings that go a lot lower than the Rock Front system, so if you're going out in temperatures below freezing, then maybe stick with the Zenbivy. The Rock Front 350 is only really good down to about freezing, so if you're going out in temperatures below freezing, then I think Zenbivy is the way to go. The Zenbivy is also going to be a little bit more comfortable for some people, especially because you do have that hood feature. Both are great, but because of weight and price, I opted for the Rock Front for this gear list. That brings us to cook and water. For water, I just use standard 1-liter plastic bottles with these flip caps from Garage Your Own Gear. If you're interested in the flip caps or any of the gear that I'm talking about today, then definitely go check out the links in the description. And then for my food bag, I've been using this awesome bag from Backcountry Exposure. I'm calling it the Exposure bag. I think he has some other name for it, but I really like it because because it's the perfect size for 2 to 4 day trips, and it has a nice big wide opening up top so I can really see everything that's inside the bag, and it's the perfect shape to sit in my pack nicely. I'm not having to kind of cram it in weird ways. If it's full, it just sits nicely inside the pack. For my stove system, I'm using the MSR wind burner, and you may be a little bit confused by this choice because it is a quite heavy stove and pretty expensive. But the reason why I really like it is, first of all, it's super efficient. It boils water very quickly. The second reason is that it's quiet. And that's part of comfort for me when I'm out here in the wilderness, enjoying solitude when I'm by myself. Having a quiet stove is just really, really nice. If the wind burner isn't quite for you, then some alternatives are things like the Pocket Rocket Deluxe, or even the BRS stove at $25 is an amazing lightweight stove. For my spoon, I'm using my long-handled pink titanium spoon. Its best features are that it can fight off bears, it keeps you extra warm if you put it inside your sleeping bag, and it makes food taste better. There's really nothing this spoon can't do. I didn't need a filter on this trip because I'm in the desert and I had to carry all my water with me, but my go-to filter is the Platypus Quick Draw. Its standout features are that it's very quick at filtering water, easy to use, and then has caps on either end, which is a nice feature if you're having to put your filter inside your sleeping bag because temperatures are getting down below freezing. I have quite a few electronics on this trip. Let's start off with the InReach Messenger Plus. The standout feature that I use the most with this is the picture messaging. I'll send pictures of where I'm at to my wife back at home, and she'll send me pictures of our daughter and what she's up to. But on this trip, I got to use the audio message feature. I sent a voice message to my wife, just kind of sharing with her the raspiness of my voice due to kind of getting sick and then talking on camera a whole bunch. In addition to those two standout features, the InReach Messenger Plus also has your standard text messaging and then also SOS features. I recently did a comparison of the InReach to the iPhone, and the iPhone just was not reliable enough for me, which is why, especially when I'm on solo trips, I'm bringing the InReach every single time. For my battery bank, it's the Victomox 10,000. This is a very affordable power bank, and it comes in a nice fun purple color. And when you're on comfort trips, you want to be having fun. The Nikkor NB10000 is a little bit lighter, but with the price difference, this is really kind of a no-brainer option, and the power bank that I recommend to 99% of people. My headlamp of choice is the Nikkor NU20. Its standout features are its price, its weight, and then the fact that it has two buttons, separate buttons for the red light and the main light. This is my go-to headlamp now for not only comfort trips, but pretty much every trip, whether it's a winter trip, ultralight trip, this is the headlamp that I'm going with. A key item on a comfort-focused trip is a sleeping pad pump, and the FlexSteel Mega Pump is my go-to because it is very quiet relative to some of the other pumps out there. It has an integrated light, which is nice if you're hanging out with people around camp or in your tent. And then it has a higher PSI than any of the other pumps that are comparable weight. Especially with a pad like the Neoloft, having an effective pump like this is just really nice to have. I also consider my watch, the Garmin Fenix 8, kind of a comfort item. I wear it every single day. And when I'm on backpacking trips, I use the mapping feature as well as the flashlight a whole bunch. I also really enjoy tracking my mileage, my pace, things like that. And I've used a bunch of other comparable watches out there, and I keep coming back to the Garmin Fenix just because of how polished it is. The next category is hygiene, and for my poop kit, I keep everything inside this Poopmoji bag. My trowel is the Bogler trowel because it's really lightweight, super ergonomic, and then has serrated edges, super easy to cut into the ground and scoop out a cat hole. In order to wash my hands after going number 2, I also keep powdered soap from Peak Outdoors in there. It's just a lot cleaner to use soap and wash your hands instead of just using hand sanitizer. As far as how to clean up your butt after pooping, I personally like using a bidet, a backcountry bidet, in order to introduce water back there and then with some soap just kind of clean up. But I know a lot of people are toilet paper people, so keep using your toilet paper, but once you go bidet, you never go back. As part of hygiene, there's also brushing your teeth and good mouth hygiene. I think it's important to brush your teeth. I know some people that go backpacking, they don't brush their teeth. I think that's kind of gross. I keep my toothbrush and my toothpaste inside of this ditty bag from Backcountry Exposure. Again, making awesome little bags. For a toothbrush, I use a little folding toothbrush. I just like the fact that it folds up and keeps it nice and clean, just a little bit more hygienic, and it's a full-size toothbrush, which is easy to use. And then for toothpaste, I'm using little toothpaste tabs. You just put in your mouth, chew it up, brush your teeth, and it works just as well as regular toothpaste. The other things I keep inside my ditty bag are charging cables, drugs, my passport, as well as on this trip, I have a whole bunch of lozenges. Basically anything small that's easy to lose track of, I put inside this bag. The chair is a key comfort item. If you're going on a comfort-focused trip, you gotta be bringing a chair with you. I didn't know what category to put it in, so we're just gonna talk about it on its own. I think the Nemo Moonlight Elite chair is the most comfortable chair on the market for a few different reasons. First of all, you have these adjusters on the side, which allows you to kind of decline and relax a little bit, or you can cinch them up forward in order to get a little bit more of an upright position. The second thing is that the case that it uses doubles as a footprint for the chair. So if you're on sandy ground like I am right now, the feet aren't going to sink in. And you can also put a rock on the footprint in order to keep the chair locked onto the ground if it's super windy out. The other nice thing about the Moonlight Elite is that it's also a very lightweight chair. The last category is clothing. There's a lot of clothing items you can bring on a backpacking trip, but I'm going to highlight 3 key items for this video. The first one is the down jacket. And I think the best down jacket out there is the Decathlon MT100. It's lightweight, doesn't cost a ton, and is quite warm. Unless you're trying to go extremely ultralight, I don't think there's a better down jacket for 3-season use. Another aspect of camp insulation is having some sort of fleece layer, whether it's a fleece sweater or fleece pants. And I think Decathlon is another good choice for that. Their fleece jackets, their fleece pants are like $20 or less and are very warm, yet still pretty lightweight because they don't have a bunch of doodads and extra features on them that you don't need. And then we have the Rock Front rain hoodie. It's a non-breathable rain hoodie, but I think that's okay because it has a giant chest zip, giant pit zips in order to dump heat if you're starting to overheat. And it's very compact, very lightweight, and very affordable. Go check out this video if you want to see my ultralight gear list. It has a target base weight of 10 pounds. So because of that, it's not going super ultralight and includes some comfort items, which might be super intriguing for some of you. Apologies for my voice in this video. Some of you might love it. Some of you might hate it. And that's okay.